Coming up on the CrossFit Games Update Show, the Masters have made the podium, closing their portion of the 2013 competition. Meanwhile, the individuals are gearing up for the second day of theirs. We know some of what they'll face, but not all of it. And the teams get ready to take the field for the first time, set to tackle the pig and the worm. Who are the big contenders? How could they change the leaderboard? And what else is in store? The CrossFit Games Update Show starts now. Hello and welcome to Carson, California, where the CrossFit Games are underway. For the Masters, it ended today. For the teams, anticipation. For the individuals, even more anticipation because they have their second day tomorrow. My name's Emily Turner. I'm here alongside Pat Sherwood and Caity Henniger. You guys, big day for the Masters. Let's just throw a big number out there. 290 pounds.
290 pounds, and we're not talking about, that'd be a great deadlift. We're talking about going overhead with it.
Yeah, and speaking of deadlift, he actually deadlifted it up and then went from the high hang into the squat clean, and then ends up pressing this out.
And we're talking Ron Ortiz at 47 years old is putting that kind of load overhead. This is the scary dude that, you know, you don't want to be dating this guy's daughter. You're like, oh, yes, Mr. Ortiz, no problem. I'll have her home 7 p.m. sharp.
No, that guy who takes his daughter out gets his daughter home by 6:30 because he doesn't want to mess with a man who not only jerks, but like essentially presses it out at the top.
Yeah, if he can dive under that bar a little bit more, he's got well over 300 pounds in the tank.
You know, the clean and jerk, also an event that these women competed in, and one woman did exceptionally well. Her name is Lisa Long. She placed first in this event, and she has a great story because not only is she a competitor, her daughter is too.
I grew up CrossFitting with my mom when I was 14 years old, freshman in high school, and we would always go to the gym together. Drag me out of bed at 5:45 in the morning to go to the 6 a.m. class. So it was just something that grew naturally from 4 years of us sweating it out in the gym side by side, so why not try and compete together?
Lisa, let's go, Lisa. 1 minute athletes.
It makes sense we compete together, I think, just because it's been such a natural process. We sweated it out together side by side for 4 years at Rainier CrossFit. I think it's been hard and challenging in that I don't get to watch every single event because we've got a lot of stuff going on. I would love to be there to support her, but I'm there in spirit and I'm watching the videos before or while they're happening or after.
Good, go down, good, you got it, go.
Go. I think I'm more her support system when it comes to competition. She calls me for advice, or I'm coaching her through things, or I'm giving her a lot of things to think about and how to calm her down before a workout. And it's kind of an interesting role reversal. Told her I watched it, that she's incredible and I love her.
I heard you through my headphones.
Oh, wow. Wow. See, it's a gift. It is. This is a superior quality.
She's also passed it on to me. We're very loud people.
They've been doing this their whole youth. It's been baseball, softball, swimming, something. So I've always been proud of her. So it's not something I have to say. She's easy to be proud of.
If I had to tell her one thing, I mean, it's that I love her. Absolutely, I love her, and I mean that in the biggest sense that you could say it. And I love that we get to share this experience together.
You know, that is such a heartwarming story. And the cool thing, so her mom finished today in second place overall. Rory's sitting in second place overall. It's their first games ever, and they get to experience it together.
And this is something I expect to see more and more. I mean, she's been doing it since she was a teenager as CrossFit gets more and more well-known around the world. You know, Garrett Fisher's been doing it for like 8 years already. That we're going to have more families growing up in CrossFit.
Yeah, we talked about Rory last night. She's basically grown up with this sport, and I think it is just a great experience to be able to share this with your mother and go through this, and you can just see, you know, she's so genuine and she really wants her mom to do well. She has her support system, and just a great story.
Well, and talk about staying motivated. Your mom usually on your tail about getting things done. Well, it works out perfectly in the
Exactly.
training regimen, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's so fun to us just watching our friends and people we look up to compete. Imagine watching an actual family member. I mean, the level of cheering is insane.
I agree 100%. And so the clean and jerk was this morning. Lisa Long won that. The second event that the Masters competed in, well, this was a chipper. It was 100 double unders, 4 rope climbs, 30 axle front squats, and 20 dumbbell snatches. And in between each one of those, a 100-meter sprint. This was no easy feat, you know? I mean, essentially sprinting through the final event to the podium. It gave some people a little bit of a race there at the end.
And 2 guys were battling today. Number 1, Craig Howard, and he was battling with Steve Parsonal. These guys both needed a big day 3, but Craig wound up coming out on top. He's your overall winner in men's 50 to 54 division. He is your champ. Coming out of Diablo CrossFit, I spoke with him today. He said he woke up in 5th place and ended up in 1st. And he had to take advantage of it. So he just turned 50, so he's the young guy now in that age division. And he showed up. He had no Gordon McKinnon, and it worked out really well for him.
He's got a lot on his plate. Now he's the only affiliate. He's competing in the Masters, won the Masters, and now, you know, he has 2 individual female athletes, Alessandra Pacelli and Margot Alvarez, and he has his team, Diablo Costa Anejo.
Yeah, they're doing something right, and I just have to give him this shout out. So cool. When I called him on the phone, I'm like, Craig, first of all, congratulations. What are you doing? He's like, what am I doing? I'm walking around Vendor Village with my medal, picking up some swag. I was like, that's just
awesome.
so awesome, just rocking his medal around.
That's what I would do. That's what a lot of those Masters are doing. In fact, let's take a look at the leaderboard, the winners in the men's divisions of the Masters. Take a look at this. I got to give a shout out. You got one. It's my turn. Michael Mosley, the man right there who won the 40 to 44 division, owns my gym, CrossFit Now, Tucson, Arizona. He fought through the weekend. He's been training hard. Congratulations to him. Ron, heck of a clean and jerk. Look at these names up here, guys.
We talked about Hardarson last night. Ended up holding on to the 55 through 59 division.
Yeah, and the power of the mustache could not be beat. Scott Olson, 60 plus. The guy is a stud out of Colorado, and he did it again.
Great name, great mustache. All right, let's take a look at the women's winners. Amanda Allen, talk about domination in her division.
Amanda, I actually checked your Facebook, okay? I sent you a message on Facebook trying to get your phone number to call you and just basically apologize because I said I thought Becky Collinsman was going to run away with this, and Amanda Allen has me eating my words.
Definitely great race, but Amanda Allen, great job this week pulling out the number 1.
All right, now all of the Masters have finished. They now get to sit back in their ice baths, relax, do whatever they're going to do tonight, get ready to watch everyone else because tomorrow the teams have yet to begin, and that's when everything starts. We're going to tell you all about what you can expect when we come back just after this.
You guys are going to be spending most of your time with me.
I'd always have to close back.
Coming home. Definitely a favorite day. You don't realize how much you miss home until you're told you can't go back. I want to get back to gymnastics. I want to compete again. I want to get back to CrossFit. I want to go back to school. I want to graduate. You know, all those kind of things.
There's a revival happening, a reinvestment in American ingenuity, a return to manufacturing at the local level, where real success is measured in the jobs you create and the quality of your craftsmanship. It has everything to do with doing things the right way, the way things used to be done, all in an honest day's work.
Right.
Welcome back to the StubHub Center in Carson, California. My name's Emily Turner alongside Pat Sherwood and Caity Henniger. A lot begins tomorrow for the teams. Individuals, they start day 2. And you know what? There is a lot of new stuff that they now have to deal with, and that, namely, is equipment. In fact, there was an athlete briefing today for the individuals and the teams as well. They got to look at some of this equipment. Now, they have already met the worm, and they have already met the pig. But what they haven't
Worm
met,
and the pig.
they haven't met this, whatever this is.
Yeah, I mean, this is almost like psychological torture. You're going to get all these guys that just want to figure everything out, sit them in front of this big erector set and just go, we're not going to tell you what this is. Just let your mind race as the pain that might be coming. Well, you know, on the table, cards on the table, what is it?
No idea.
Liar.
Well done.
Actually, I had a few of the athletes text me and say, what is this thing on the tennis stadium? You know, I don't know what it is. I don't know what we're doing, but it's cool as hell.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's what you're giving us.
Well,
Appreciate
we're not
it.
going to believe any word you say right there. But you know what? We will believe, well, the teams, they at least got the chance to put their hands on some of the equipment, the pig and the worm that they've already been announced. And this is what they have to say about that.
Good morning, guys. Welcome to the soccer field. What we're going to do here is get you guys through a general flow for the weekend. The logistics of what we're doing this week are mind-boggling. We'll bring you guys onto the field of play, and you guys will have 5 minutes for you to become acclimated with your work.
It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. I love the fact that they do this at the games. It's a lot of teamwork, lifting some heavy objects, and communication is important.
This thing is legit. This is like everyone's got to be moving in unison. Stop. To be able to be in tune with everything. Yeah.
Which way do you want to turn? All right, ready. Down.
Nice. 363 days of training and preparation, and you just can't wait for this to get here. So it's finally here. I think every team here is just elated. We finally get to go out and compete.
It looks really technical, but actually I think you just keep it simple. I think that's the trick. You're just tied together, so it's going to be fun.
You know, the word they keep using is fun. And looking at that, I don't know that I would use that word.
I get to talk to a couple people that have played with this thing today. One of them was on the demo team, Pat Barber, well-known athlete. And he's like, look, hey, here's a secret. Alternate your people left, right, so you can actually kind of run without bumping into each other's feet. You know, you figure out how to pick it up, put it down. I talked to another NorCal stud, Tommy Marquez. We all know him. He said he did it today with some other people. Everyone on the same side and some kind of just coordinated shuffle step worked well. So I don't know if there's one way to do this.
Well, I think what you heard there on the video, though, everybody was saying communication, strategy. So they're all working this out. So when they get out there, they know what they're doing.
Well, the big question, though, is who is going to be able to maneuver the worm and the pig and everything else that is going to be thrown at them this weekend? Who is going to win it? That's the big question.
There has never been a repeat Affiliate Cup winner. Hackpack is hoping to change that. They tore through the Southwest Regional and won every single event. But the defending fittest team on earth will have to deal with plenty of formidable challengers if they want to make history. A pair of teams from Northern California is hoping to put an end to Hackpack reign. Diablo CrossFit Anejo finished third at the games in 2012 and is coming off a solid regional performance. Newcomers 808 CrossFit won the Northern California Regional while never finishing outside the top 4 in a single event. In the Northwest, 2010 Affiliate Cup champions CrossFit Fort Vancouver turned in a dominant performance in their regional as they won 5 of the 7 events and never finished lower than second. And out of Southern California, Invictus is looking to fight their way onto the podium after finishing 4th at the games last year and 1st in their regional this year.
And that was Sean Woodland reporting, and one of the things that he said that I think we can all agree with is that the big contender here, Hackpack. Can they do it too, Pete?
Beyond a shadow of a doubt. I mean, they're just an intimidating team to go against. Look back to regionals. They won every single event that they competed in, and they hold 5 event records.
That's amazing, you know. They returned everyone from last year's championship team. I was pulling in the StubHub Center today. Who is the first person, or the first team I see? Hackpack. They're out running the loop, getting ready for the run tomorrow just to see what it's like.
But, you know, they're not the only ones who are taking this so very seriously. every team here has worked so hard to get to this place. So out of those, if you had to pick one that could take Hacks back, who would you guys pick?
Yeah, I thought about this earlier today, and got to go with CrossFit Explode. I mean, looking at that cross-regional comparison that, puts all the teams in the same region, so to speak, they were third. So the numbers stand up very well for them. I caught up with Brian Quinlan, owns the gym, the team captain, and I'm like, what's your secret? You guys have a great team. And he was super humble, said, look, we don't have any former All-Americans or anything like that. We have a lot of average athletes, is what he said, but I don't buy that. But they just have a lot of big heart. They also have a member of their team, Tyler Fisher, who is turning 21 tomorrow, so just in time for the after party. And just one last cool fact about Explode, they rented a house somewhere away from the StubHub, and Brian had all of his team members break out their luggage today, fill it with something heavy. They tied it together and made their own worm in a neighborhood, and they're like squatting the thing and running around. So how cool is that?
Well, I don't know what the neighbors thought.
Right.
Is there anybody else, Caity, you got to pick?
Yeah, I think former champ, 2010 champ, CrossFit Fort Vancouver. It's their fifth time being in the games, returning veteran team. I think they're going to rely on great teamwork. Adam Neefer, their captain, their affiliate owner, was second in the open in the individual race in the Northwest. He is now on this team, the key piece to this. I think they can make a run at Hacks Pack with their veteran capability.
Certainly a lot to watch on the teams division. They will start their first day tomorrow, day 2 for the individuals. What did they do yesterday? Just a pool workout with bar muscle ups and a half marathon row. How are they recovering, and how was that row? We've got all of that answered for you coming up just after this.
I think what's cool is you only get better by training with other people.
The intensity level is high, the drive and the push is 10 times greater.
Some people might train by themselves, but we really represent like coming together as a community, pushing yourself. So it's this huge camaraderie and accountability.
When you feel like your mind is getting weak, it just gets you built up even that much more to push even harder when you see someone else going.
So when most people think about a half marathon, whether it's a row or a run or anything of the sort, you think of that as the big event and then the recovery afterwards. With CrossFit, no. That's just one of many events, many workouts that these athletes are going to have to tackle. And here we are, the end of that. Oh man, what happens now?
And, people are feeling generally pretty good. I got the lucky enough, ladies, eat your hearts out. I had breakfast with Dan Bailey and enjoying some crisp bacon. Asked him, how are you feeling? He's like, legs feel fine. I saw Akinwale in the gym today. She felt fine, too. So I think the row, even though it was incredible, was a lot less destructive than a run, for example.
Absolutely. In fact, we caught up with some of those athletes, asked them how they felt, and we got a little bit of video of their pain faces during the actual event, which I think is pretty extraordinary. Here's what they had to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, your CrossFit Games start Wednesday. How many of you have ever ran a half marathon? How many of you have ever rode a half marathon?
The row yesterday was very mentally taxing more than physical.
Physically awful, mentally worse.
I wouldn't say enjoy is the right word. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. It was just stupid.
I cramped up in my arms and my legs.
My one butt bone is kind of bruised. I started blistering on the hands, so just trying to keep moving the hands.
So the row was a little bit taxing on my back for sure. So it locked up really bad on the last 2K. So it was more of just fighting it out.
My glutes feel bruised almost.
Yesterday, as soon as I got back, I got on an E-stem machine. I did lots of rolling, and my coach came up and massaged it out a whole bunch.
I did a lot of stretching and like yoga type stuff this morning. Now I'm about to lift a little bit, and that's about it. Just right back to it.
I got my chiropractor coming in to work on me, so we'll hopefully hit the thoracic spine a little bit and make sure my posture's good and ready to, support heavy loads, because that's what we're going to be getting into now this weekend.
I actually got into the gym last night and did a little bit of walking and just getting my heart rate up. I was on the elliptical, a little interesting.
My game plan is just to compete every workout and just stay consistent.
Yeah, I feel good. I'm happy. I'm excited. I can't wait for tomorrow.
You wanted to check out during the workout very easily, but she's had to stay on the grind the entire time.
Oh man, well, after that row, that very grueling and apparently painful row, look who's at the top. The end of day one going into day two. Jason Kalipa, Garrett Fisher, and Chad McKay. Do you think that it stays this way throughout the rest of the weekend?
Gotta commit, right? I think it's gonna be tough to get Kalipa out of that top position. I really do, given what we know thus far. I'll be impressed if Garrett stays there as a rookie, and but there's some dangerous people just outside there.
One of those being the two-time champ, Rich Froning, sitting in 6th right now. I just don't think you can count out the champ. He's determined. He wants to win again. Yes, there's a lot of pressure. It's a long weekend. There's still a lot of points on the board. I don't think you can count him out. I think he's still going to make a run for that #1 spot.
Yes, for sure. But there's another individual who's also been a champion and wants it just as bad. Going back to Kalipa, occupying the top spot, when I did catch up with him, he said traditionally after day one, when he's looked forward to the events that have been announced, there's always something which makes him say the F word out loud. And he just says now he looks at it, and thus far, he's not afraid of anything. So that should make people nervous.
And the thing we were talking about earlier is that role reversal. Essentially, Rich has always been the one being chased. Kalipa usually has to be the one chasing him. Oh, now they're flip-flopped. So how is that going to affect it? Well, let's take a look at the women's leaderboard and see how those ladies are lining up going into day two. Sam Briggs at the top, Rory Zambard in 2nd, Alessandra Pacelli in 3rd. I don't think anybody's really surprised at this point by #1. What about 2 and 3? How do you think it's going to work out?
2 and 3, Rory, we've got rookies in 2 and 3, and it's always something, we'll have to see how it goes. Those events just might have played well for their strengths. They're kind of not battle tested yet, but good luck getting Briggs out of first place. For sure. When I caught up with her earlier, she said, look, we knew she's an endurance athlete, but she's also a CrossFit athlete, of course. And looking forward, the clean and jerk, admittedly, she's like, I know I'm not the strongest girl out there, but I'll survive. I'll do just fine. The running in, Naughty Nancy, just fine with her. And she also admitted on the zigzag sprint, she's like, I'd like to run a little bit more distance. So 50 meters is kind of just what I'm getting warmed up. But, we start the burden run with 2.1.
Well, so who can catch her? Is there anybody who can catch her, and if so, who?
I think Christy Phillips. I know there's some running left here. She loves to run. I talked to her this morning. She really wants to go out hard and set the pace on this 2.1 beginning of the burden run. Get to the pig, and she said, it's going to be uncomfortable with the log on my shoulder, but just get through it. And I think she's going to set herself up to get on the podium this weekend.
And Christy's amazing, no doubt, but we cannot forget about another young lady, Telena Fortunato. She was on the podium last year, right? And, she's currently sitting in 8th place, but she's not that far out of 3rd, breaking into the top 3. I caught up with her today, and she said the leaderboard right now is interesting. There's a lot of newcomers on there, haven't really broken out the weights yet, and she's intrigued by the nighttime WODs. Nighttime events, I should say. She expects some weights and some gymnastics movements to pop out. We really haven't seen a heavy gymnastics deal, just a bar muscle-up so far. And that big rogue structure, she was kind of checking out today. She said her mind, because she's the spider monkey, you know what I mean? And she likes the odd, awkward movements. And she said, my guess is going to be muscle-up into a handstand push-up on the rings.
Ooh, that sounds nasty. But, there's a name that we've been talking about that you guys haven't brought up. Valenzuela. As you said last night, we haven't touched a barbell yet, and that's her forte.
And that is scary. We talked about it last night. Pat, you talked to her. She was really excited. I think she's really confident. She had good performances in the first 3 workouts. But like we said, she wants to get to the barbell. I think she's going to take that confidence into the clean and jerk, and I think she's going to set herself up to maybe take that spot away from Briggs.
She could, again, top 5. I think Lindsay's going to do nothing but move up from now on. with Naughty Nancy, you know, the 95 pounds will get heavy fast, she said, and she's one of the stronger ladies out there. But, you know, you have that big incline to run up, which I don't think most competitors are overlooking, but I know when you saw it on the video, it didn't look as gnarly as it is. But when I went over to the stadium, looked, it's about 6 stories up. But Lindsay said she's been training hills, so she's ready.
There are a lot of items to watch. I mean, men's race, women's race, teams race, all of it starting tomorrow. Well, the teams for the first time, and the men and women individual hitting their second day. All of it will be covered right here on the Update Show. Also starting tomorrow, ESPN3, every heat for every single event. For the Update Show, we'll be on games.crossfit.com. Live here in Carson, California. For Caity Henniger, Pat Sherwood, myself, Emily Turner, have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow. I could